Tassi from TaciStudio, and today is Wednesday, May 30th, and today we're going to talk about a lot of knitting things and a lot of new yarns that I got because I just came back from Nashville, and I'm talking to you from Oregon. I live in Oregon, and today is Wednesday, May 30th. Have lots of things to talk about. I finished the pattern that I was writing, and I'm going to be publishing it as today is Wednesday, but I will be posting this on Friday. So when I post it, my pattern will be already published on Ravelry, so I'm excited about that also. And I also have a I should say one of my favorite Brazilian recipes for you today, which I will be giving you the recipe for my Brazilian black beans. I actually this time tried to record a video, and I'm going to insert the video in the end of this video. So if you want to cook that, then you can also cook that this weekend for your family or whenever you want to do that. So let's just get with this podcast, because I am super excited to tell you today that yes, I finally finished my pattern, and it's all done and ready for you to go to Ravelry. And in the end of this podcast, I will tell you, because I have a surprise for you, and I'm gonna give you more information. But today, this is what is off my needles, because I have been working on making a few different sizes. This way I could check all of the sizes. My test knitters also finished theirs, and they are all fabulous. It has a little surprise in the back with a little embroidery in the back. So this is the small size. This one is the medium, which I made. This one is made with the same color embroidery. The first one was different color embroideries, and this one I made the large size, and I did I put some mohair, and I don't know if you can see the halo on this one, and they're all made with knitted with yarn. And this one also has one of her state park, and this one is the Sitka State Park yarn, and I really love this color combination and these colors together. Knitted With offered me, and I'm sorry I was spacing out a little bit, offered to give a kit for you to make one of this with the reveal of the pattern, which is going to be today. So I'm going to be posting that on Instagram, and I'll remind you again in the end of the this podcast today. Today we are, and I forgot to say that in the beginning, we are doing podcast number 8. I cannot believe that I think it's been about 2 months now that I started this. I am so excited to be here with you. I really appreciate all of you being here with me, and I'm so excited for the review of this pattern. I have done a few patterns, as I said, in about 6 years ago now, and because of my full-time job I really didn't have time to do this, so I'm very excited to be able to start doing this again. I really don't know where it's going to take me, but I am just having so much fun that I want to continue to do this, and I want to continue to say thank you to you for the support. It means the world to me. I was in Nashville. I'm gonna have a lot of little I put a lot of little short videos on YouTube just so you could follow me on my trip and what I did. One of the fun things that I did is my husband was in conferences and I went there with him, and one of the things that I did was go to a knitting store, and I'm going to mention that when I talk about my acquisitions, because I think I am going too far with, I should show you first what is on my needles right now. So like I said, this was my only finished object, and I talked with all of you and asked what you thought that I should take. I took a hat with me, but to be honest with you, the yarn was so small that I did not knit. It was so thin, I should say, that I did not knit the hat. Instead, in the airplane on my way there, I started my Sophie Shawl, and I am so happy with this shawl. I love this color. I love this finishing here, and I was very, very happy with myself that I did not make any mistakes because it looks so well done and well finished, and I love this color. I used, I was going to use a different yarn, but I wanted it to be a little bit thicker for the fall, so I ended up using a yarn that I had for a very long time, and it was MadelineTosh, the Tosh Sport, and the color is Farmhouse White. It has a little bit of a green tone on it, and it's really, really pretty. So I think this is going to match with almost everything that I wear, and I'm very happy about it. But for some reason, once I got there, I put it in a bag and I couldn't find where I put it. So the next day I started something else because I couldn't find where. You would think that with just having one luggage I would know where it was. So I did start a different project, and I also did not, I thought I was going to have a lot of time, and I took the Suri shirt with me, but I did not have a lot of time while I was there except for in the morning. But I also wanted to go adventuring and wanted to go see places. So as I said, I did one morning, I did the whole morning, I went and did a trip to the knitting store, so I did not have a lot of time to knit. So the only other thing that I worked and I worked while I was there was on another Saturday Shrug, of course. Of course, I'm wearing the one that I showed you that I finished last time, and now I'm wearing it today because today is kind of gloomy and a little cold spring day. So I am wearing that because it's a perfect shrug for a day like this here in Oregon. So I started another shrug while I was there, but I also this time I did my stripes a little bit different. I love using the Fibonacci equation. I'm not sure if you are familiar with it, and if not, I will put on my show notes. It's an equation in which they use it for architecture, for different, and Fibonacci was a mathematician. So it's an equation that uses, you start with 1, the number 1, then 1 plus 1, it's 2, then you use 2 plus 1 is 3, and then 3 plus 2 would be 5, then 5 plus 3 would be 8. So you keep adding the numbers, and what you come up with is this beautiful vision of how the stripes come up. I actually wrote a pattern for a shawl that uses this same equation, and it's called Phoebe shawl, and I wrote a long time ago because I love the Fibonacci equation, and I think that it says that if you use the equation, being that is on architecture or whatever it is that you use, it's supposed to make whatever you make be very pleasing to the eye. And I completely agree with that. I think that makes it so beautiful. So if you notice, this one has 1 stripe, this has 2 stripes, this has 3, 5, 8, and 13. I stopped at 13, and I'm going to now just use the white all the way to the end, so this way you can see it better. And I'm not sure, when I started this shawl, I decided to learn to do the tubular cast on, because I have not done it in any of my Saturday Shrugs, and I absolutely loved Caddy Jack's. She did a video tutorial on that, and I had never been able to do the tubular cast on. I've tried several times, and with her video, her video is so easy to follow that I absolutely love it, and I was able to do a tubular cast on this one, and I'm gonna try to do a tubular bind off also. You looking at her her videos, and I will put notes on the show notes below. But when I did, I was so worried about paying attention that I did not pay attention to the color that I started, and I did the tubular cast on in black. So I might just fold this edge, because I think you'll be able to see the Fibonacci effect better if I don't have this black stripe in here. So I might just fold this and just have the white, starting with white and ending with white. So I'm very, very happy with this, and I'm about to finish. And see, if I put it like this, you don't see, you just see starting on the first one. I think it looks better. So I am about not very long to finish this one, and it's another one that I'm super excited with. I think after this one I'm going to do a few summer tops before, because I really want to work on my Sudi shirt, which I only did one. I did actually both shoulders in Nashville, but I did not work on it very much at all. And after that, I think Jessie Made is going to have a new pattern that also Jackie from Caddy Jacks, she made 2 of them, and they look so fabulous, and I just want to make one of them for myself this summer. I usually don't make too many summer projects, or never really made any. Well, I do have a couple little summer sweaters, and I think I was wearing one of them last time, but this year I want to try to make that Suri shirt, and maybe going to make this new pattern from Jessie Made, and I think it's called the Mini Mock Neck Tank, and I think it's gonna be coming up tomorrow or Friday, I should say. Yeah, so I think that's gonna be it for me, and I'm sure I'm gonna make more. I have plenty of yarn to make more of those Saturday Shrugs, and I will be making them more towards the end of the summer, I think. But just now to go on with what I got on while I was in Nashville. I went and visited this cutest knitting store, and it's called House of Yarns, and the owner was absolutely delightful. Thank you so much, if you're watching this, for being so welcome to me. And I only got yarn from Nashville while I was there. And the first one I got was this, and it's called Old Rusted Chair is the name of and it's hand dyed in Nashville. It is 80% merino and 20% nylon, and it has 400 yards. And I got this color. It's more of a blue than what is showing here. I got this color because I think I'm going to make a hat for my husband. And of the same brand, the Old Rusted Chair, I got this color to make socks for myself. And I absolutely love it. I thought at first that it had, maybe it was a little bit too many colors, but I saw a sample knitted and it looks so beautiful. I was very happy with it. So I think it's going to be very cute. And I'm not sure if I'm going to make short or long socks with it yet. And this one, when I chose this, I chose because the color name is Road Tripping. And I thought this was perfect to get road tripping yarn color while I was on a trip. So I know I'm funny that way. The other two I got was this, and this is also, and it is Camellia Fiber Company, and it's handmade in Davidson County, Nashville, Tennessee. And it's an organic merino sport, which is 100% organic merino. And the name of this color is Dahlia. And I'm hoping to make a hipster shawl with this one. I have been wanting to make one of those for a very long time. And so the owner of the store told me that the person who makes this yarn, and I will link everything on the show notes below, that she is very kind, very nice person, and super supportive. And so I decided to buy 2 more balls of her yarn. And this one, she actually put it on a cake for me while I was there, because I thought maybe I would start a hat for myself. But as I said, I did not have very much time to knit. So this one is also, this is the same one as the one that I have in a hank, and it's organic merino sport. And this one here is the Suri lace. I am so excited to work with these two together, and the color is chicory. So I'm very, very excited to work with some of this new yarn. I got a lot, but I had some space on my luggage, then why not just fill it with yarn, right? The next, so this was my trip to that knitting store. I was very happy. I spent over an hour there. I just took a lift while my husband was in a conference, and then I came back, and I was so happy with all of this, and that I was able to visit the store, and it was a really fun. I will insert either some pictures or some videos, but I also made some short videos if you want to watch, or if you have already watched them, so you do have some pictures and footage of my trip there, and it was super fun. The other thing on my acquisition list for this week, and it's the last thing that I think I bought enough last week, is Pro Soho is going to have a knit along, and it starts, I think it starts June 1st, and it's the dumpling bag knit along. And I think you remember that I said before that I really wanted to make this bag, and I had ordered the yarn, and I am so excited for this knit along. It is Pearl Soho Blackbird linen. It's 100% linen, and this color is Silver Thistle, and it is so beautiful. So I wanted a light color, but not exactly this color, because I think it's really light, so it might get dirty easier. So I got this one, and linen is a plant-based yarn, so it's a little bit stiffer, but also just like the clothes, the more you wear, the more you use, the more I touch, the softer it gets. So I'm very excited to work on this one, and I think by the time you guys watch this podcast, I will have already cast on, because I'm going to try to wind it today, and I'm very excited for that because it's going to be fun. I have done some knit along before, but not really. I don't think I have done online knit alongs, because I've never really had the time and didn't want to have too much of the pressure on me. But I think that's it for acquisitions, and I think I got a lot last week. I have been watching a podcast. The podcast I've been watching, the new one this week, is We Grow Wild. The person, and I'm sorry, I will put her name on the show notes. I completely forgot her name. I can't believe I forgot her name, but she's so cute. She's in Italy, and she not only shows her knitting, but also footage of the place where she lives, and the natural things that she makes, and she bakes some, and shows that in her in general. She shows a little bit of her life also, and I really like to listen to her and to watch her. It's been really fun. I've been watching most of this week. That's what I've been watching. The other thing that I have for you today is my black beans recipe. I will have the recipe linked, as I always do, written on the show notes, but this time I also tried to make a video on how I cook the black beans. There's a traditional recipe, and you can find the traditional recipe for Brazilian black beans you can just Google. But I make mine a little bit different, because I make mine without any meat in the beginning, because my daughter doesn't eat meat. And then I take her beans, and then I usually put some ham on it, but I use the ham bone from when I make a ham on Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and maybe a couple other times throughout the year, and I just save the bone and freeze it with still the ham meat on it. And because it's a honey baked ham that I make, when you put it in the beans, it just gives this really good flavor to the beans. So I made a video showing you how I'm gonna have the recipe written for you, but I also made a video so you can see how I make the beans, and I hope that you enjoyed that today. I will have it linked here in the end. After this video, if you wait a little bit, I will just add that one. So I think this is it for today. I don't want to make it way too long, but I just want to remind you before I go that if you have been waiting for the pattern for my mittens, they are going to be it's going to be posted on Ravelry today, and I am going to, together with Knitted Wit, we are going to have a giveaway for a kit to make, and actually, to be honest with you, actually to tell you, I have made 3 sets with 1 ball of the yarn. So, and it's all with the same yarn. So I'm very excited because you can get a lot done. So I have to just weigh one of them to see how much exactly you need just for a pair. But I am very happy that you can just get lots done with 1 ball of yarn. And you can also, like with this one, I mixed with the mohair. And I am going to be giving a discount for the weekend. And since I am 61, I'm going to give 61% off on this pattern from today until the end of Sunday, just as a gift to you and to say thank you for being here with me and for your support and for supporting me on this journey. So I hope that you enjoy your weekend. I hope that you're having fun with whatever it is that you're making, with whatever it is that you are creating and doing. I am having so much fun being here with you. I really enjoy the time that to show you everything that I'm doing and to share with this great community that we have. And I hope that whatever you're doing, you keep doing and keep knitting and keep having fun and stay healthy. I will see you next time. Ciao. Thank you. Hi friends, I'm Taci from TaciStudio, and today I'm here with you in my kitchen. I'm going to show you today how to make Brazilian black beans, which is one of my favorite and my family all-time favorite food that I make. And today I'm going to show you the ingredients, and I decided to do a video because I think it's really nice to see the process also. So I am going to show you how to do that. In order to do that, I'm going to have to move the camera a couple of times, but I'm also going to try to maybe learn how to cut the video and then not have so much of the transition going. But I'm right now going to show you the ingredients, and this is a recipe that I developed with time that my family likes. So it's not the very traditional black beans from Brazil, because the traditional Brazilian black beans have a lot of different meats, and some of them are a little bit more fattening, and I don't like it so much, and my family really likes the way I make, which I only use in general either some sausage, and you don't have to use meat at all actually on it, but I usually put it in the very end, on the last maybe half an hour to an hour of when I'm making the beans. I take about probably half a day to cook mine because I like to cook it slowly, so it takes all the flavors of all the ingredients that I put on it. And then I put either sausage, or I put sausage in when I cook a ham, which I cook usually for Easter, for Thanksgiving and Christmas, or on a special occasion. When I cook that, I usually leave the bone, and I put that on my beans on the very last half an hour or so, and then I cut the leftover of the ham that it was on the bone and take the bone out. But you don't have to do that. Your beans will be just as flavored without the meat on it. So with that said, let's start with the ingredients. So the first thing I do is I open the bag of beans, and I usually put a paper towel in here just to make it a little bit easier for me. And I start checking the beans because I myself don't like these ones. They're all half, or sometimes there's actually some rocks, little tiny rocks in there. And then I see that this one looks pretty good. Then when I see that it's all clean and it has mostly just what I call good beans, then I pick up the paper and I put on the big pot that I reserved on the side, and I just put it there. And then I repeat this process until the whole bag has been checked and has been cleaned up. So I will meet back with you when I have done this for the whole bag. And after I have poured all the beans in the pot, sometimes, as you can see, I still find some of the beans that are not, some of them don't look very good. So I just go through a little bit like this, and then I'm going to take this to the sink and I wash the beans a couple of times. Then I'm going to fill halfway with water. So now I'm going to start cooking, and I just turn the cooktop on high, and I always use the same spoon because my mom gave me this wooden spoon and it was a long time ago, but I love that she gave that to me, so I always use it to make my Brazilian beans. The first thing I do is to put about a teaspoon of salt, but maybe put half if you don't like very much your beans to be salty. And it depends also if the meat that you're going to add. And I also put a teaspoon of garlic powder, I have here a tablespoon of fresh garlic, and I put some black pepper, and I'm not going to be able to do it very well right now because I'm also recording, but I mix this and I let it cook for half an hour just with the salt and pepper and the garlic. Sometimes, and I'm going to show you one of my secrets, is I put a little bit, like a few dashes of Montreal steak seasoning, and I just put a little bit just to give it some flavor. So now I'm gonna let it cook for about half an hour just with those ingredients. And the secret for me for the beans is to add the ingredients as you keep cooking. So I first only cook with salt, pepper, garlic, and a little bit of the Montreal if I put that. I don't always put that on it. It depends on how flavorful you like it to be. And we now let it cook away. When this half an hour is done, we're going to put a couple more ingredients and more water and let it cook again. When the beans have are almost cooked and the water has reduced, the liquid, then you can now put, if you have, like I said, I save a ham I save the bone with some meat on it, and I freeze it, and then now I just put it in the beans and I let it cook for about an hour, and after it cooks and kind of defrosts, then I will cut some of this meat and put it and take the bone out. But right now I'll put a little bit more water and just let it cook and soak for another half an hour to an hour again. And now this is ready. I put the ham in there and it's ready to eat. I made another dish which I might give you the recipe a little bit later, which is called farofa. It's kind of a special mandioca flour from Brazil that you make with onions. Some people put bacon, but I don't because my daughter doesn't eat meat. And we are going to eat this with white rice. There's also a recipe for a different rice from Brazil, but I think that this dish is already pretty flavorful, so it does not need a rice that is flavorful also. And I am going to, you can also serve this with collard greens, but we didn't have it today. So when the dishes are made and we start eating, I will show you the how we place that to eat. So that's it for now. It's ready to eat now.